Hello everybody and welcome. This is your Rebel and Muse CaliRoots edition yoga. And today we're going to be doing a little bit of yin yoga. If you're not familiar with the practice, here's my lovely wife Melanie to explain to you what we'll be doing today.
Hi. So yin yoga is a very slow-paced, long-held, introspective practice that we do all on the floor. And I'll encourage you to grab maybe a block if you have one. If you don't have a block, any sort of couch pillow or whatever you have at home, since we're all at home. And I'll be guiding you through the practice with a little more explanation as we go. And we wanted to share with you a practice that has been inspired by a quote from John Lennon. And he says, "There are two basic motivating forces, fear and love. When we are afraid, we pull back from life. When we are in love, we open to all that life has to offer with passion, excitement, and acceptance. Evolution and all hopes for a better world rest in the fearlessness and open-hearted vision of people who embrace life." And I take this to mean not necessarily being in love with another person, but being in love with life and all of the moments that you can find gratitude for in life. So when we choose to find the good in situations and we choose to find where we can be grateful, it really elevates our own vibration, shifting our frequency to a higher one. And when we shift our own frequency, we can inspire the others around us to shift their frequency. And imagine how much better we can make this world when we all step into that power that we all have. So close your eyes and Kaleo will guide you through a brief meditation.
Taking a moment to tap into your breath and the rhythm of it. Allowing your breath to be the anchor that allows your mind to be still. Slow inhales, smooth exhales, finding your own rhythm of your own breath to connect to your source. Stepping into this mindful minute. And then removing time and stepping into this mindful moment. And filling these next moments with total appreciation. Appreciation for who you are. Appreciation for you allowing yourself to bring this practice into your home. On your next inhale breath, make it big with a beautiful exhaling sigh. Slowly open your eyes and step into this moment.
All right, so our first postures will be seated postures into some forward folding and a little bit of twisting. So in our yin yoga practice, it's most important to be grounded through the seat and just let the body come forward in a very natural way, coming to an edge that is appropriate for you in any given time. So we'll extend the left leg off to the side, drawing the right one in. Grabbing your props if you choose to use them. The props are there to support your practice, so you can choose to use them to support an edge that feels good, or you don't need to use them at all. So we'll twist over toward the extended leg at the solar plexus, trying to align your torso with your leg. Now this leg is extended, but it's not engaged, so just really soft through the leg, through the foot. lowering the torso down, coming into a forward fold, tucking your chin to your chest slightly, and pausing. So explain the tattvas of our yin yoga practice as we hold this pose. The 4 tattvas of our yin yoga practice is to come into the pose at a comfortable and appropriate edge. And this can change from side to side, from pose to pose, from day to day. And then we resolve to hold still. So we can take the first few breaths to assess the edge, assess the pose, and see if there needs to be anything shifted or changed. And then we hold for time, typically a couple to a few minutes. And then the 4th tattva is to release the pose as gently and carefully as possible. So I will be guiding you out of that as well. Our yin yoga practice is designed to get deeper into the connective tissues that are closer to the joints, the bones, in order to create more strength, more freedom in the joints for fluid to flow through. And it also helps to release stagnant energy that can be stored or stuck deep in the connective tissues in the joints. And as we hold these poses for our allotted time, see if you can soften somewhere throughout the body, releasing any areas of tension or muscle engagement, effort. To release this pose, let's press your hands into your props or to your mat to slowly use the strength to lift you back up, coming to a neutral spine. So we'll square the shoulders and the hips toward the same direction. Pausing for just a moment here, and then extending the right leg out. Draw the left one in, keeping the sit bones grounded. Again, we're twisting at the solar plexus, leaving this knee behind. No engagement through the legs, everything is relaxed. Twisting over to this right side, lowering down torso over leg. And this side might feel a little bit different than the other side, completely normal. It's rare that we have perfect symmetry from side to side.
I'm
in our
feeling
range
it on this side, for sure.
in our range of motion. So as we hold these yin yoga poses, the concept is to allow. So just allowing the pose to happen. And we can release and let go. So first of all, releasing in the body. When we soften those areas that don't need to be engaged, it allows us to get deeper into those connective tissues. And as we soften the body, it allows us to soften the breath, finding some calm, some ease in the breath. The breath can be a good indicator of an appropriate edge. So if the breath is labored, or maybe you're holding the breath, it's a sign that you can shift the edge to something a little more soft, a little more appropriate for today. And once we let go of resistance in the breath, we can let go of resistance in the mind. And when we let go of resistance in the mind, we're able to see clearly, choosing where we want to focus on, fear or love, holding back or living large, letting ourselves step into our magnificence. We'll be here for a couple more breaths. Very slowly use the strength of your arms to lift up out of that forward fold. Coming back to a neutral spine here. We'll just pause. You can extend your legs out. How you doing, babe? So the yin yoga practice is very slow paced. Everything's done on the floor, but it doesn't make it easy. It can be a very challenging practice. All right, so we're going to draw the right foot in toward the body. Extend the left leg back toward the back side. And so your front big toe can kind of snuggle up to this knee. The foot can be flexed or pointed behind you for comfort, whatever feels best. And we'll start a twist over to this right side, but before we start the twist, you can set your props up if you're going to use them. We'll have one hand frame, or each hand frame that front knee, just allowing that back sit bone to lift a little bit. And we'll take small steps into our twist. As we take these small steps over to the right side, just allow the body to accept the twist. Once you've reached your full expression of the twist, pause there. Notice how the breath can affect the pose, maybe bringing in a little more sensation on the inhale and a little more grounding or stabilizing on the exhale. One more breath. And as you exhale, lower down into a forward fold. So it's more of a twisted forward fold. You can use your props under your elbows. And again, we're going to start to focus on any resistance. So focusing first on any resistance in the body, consciously softening and letting go. And then notice any resistance in the breath. Letting the breath be easy, natural. And then the mind. So our inherent self is one that is peaceful, compassionate, joyful, loving, kind, accepting. And when life experiences happen, which human experiences typically do, this is when we start to forget this inherent nature that we have. So these beautiful practices of meditation, yoga asana, breath work can help us to remember that we are these perfect beings. 2 more breaths here. Very gently lift up onto your hands. We'll start to make that journey back to center, moving as slow as possible, just allowing your body to come back to neutral. We'll bring this foot forward. So your body doesn't want to move very fast right now, so it's up to you to honor that. And we'll sit with a neutral spine for a moment. The legs can be however they're comfortable. Big breath in, big sigh out. All right, let's take it to the other side. So grabbing your prop if you're using it, we'll keep the left foot in front of you and we'll send the right one back. So again, this side might be completely different, just honoring that and shifting and adjusting the edge as necessary. So one hand goes to either side of this left knee. We'll start that slow twisting journey over to the left side. Once you've reached your full expression, again, it doesn't have to match the other side. It's 2 completely different sides. We'll pause and breathe. Lifting through the heart space. Maybe the eyes are closed or softly open. One more breath. And exhale, lowering down. Letting go of resistance in body, breath, and mind.
and allowing the breath to consciously go to those places in the body that feel some resistance.
A couple more breaths here. Use the strength of your arms to lift up. And again, make the journey slowly, coming back to a neutral spine, taking your time. Once you get there, you can extend the legs out or shift the hips, anything that feels good to counter that pose. All right, our next pose is our long-legged butterfly. So the soles of the feet come together. The feet are a little further away from the body, so they're not totally close to the body like this, but just a little bit further away, hence the long-legged butterfly. And we'll lean forward, grabbing your props if you're using any. Coming down into your forward fold. Send some breath to the back part of your lungs, the back part of your rib cage, the sides of the ribs. So compressing the muscles of breathing and the muscles of digestion. Help to make them stronger. And also when we twist and compress the abdomen, we're squeezing, nurturing, giving our immune system some love. We have lymph nodes in our neck, our armpits, our abdomen, our groin. And when we squeeze and massage these areas, we're supporting our immune system. So even though this is a very quiet, slow practice, it actually helps to rejuvenate and energize the body when we're done. Releasing areas of stagnant energy, allowing the energy to flow freely throughout the body. We'll be here for just a few more breaths. Gently use the strength of your arms to lift you up. Coming back to that neutral spine. We'll set your props off to the side and come into tabletop position. So just a couple of rounds of cat-cow, allowing the spine to lift and lower, maybe moving yourself in some circles. Setting yourself up in tabletop position here. Let's link our breath and movement together. So inhale, lower the belly, lift the tail. Exhale, pull the navel in, rounding into cat. And do this just a couple of times, moving at the pace of your own breath. And our next yin asana will be anahatasana, heart-melting pose. And we won't hold this for as long, just a few breaths getting into the front of our body. So keeping the knees directly under the hips. We're not sitting them back toward the heels, they're lifted up. Walk your arms forward, let the torso melt toward the ground. You can either look forward, placing your chin on the floor, or keep your forehead on the floor or toward the ground. Send some breath into the belly. Just 3 more breaths here. To release this, shift your weight forward so your elbows are under the shoulders. Use one hand at a time to lift you up to tabletop. And again, you can do a little figure 8 or cat-cow, just realigning the spine. And then bring your feet forward. We'll come all the way down to your back. Draw the knees into your chest. We'll cup the knees with your hands. Circle the knees one direction a couple of times, the opposite direction a couple of times. And then take the knees over to the right side, extending your left arm out on the floor. Take a couple of breaths here. Recline twists at the end of a practice help to restore equilibrium to our nervous system, preparing us for a relaxation. We'll bring the knees back up to center, take them over to the opposite side. Bring the knees back up to center and extend your arms and legs toward the ceiling. So circle the wrists and the ankles. Draw the knees into your chest, giving yourself a big squeeze, a really big I love you appreciation hug for taking this time out of your day to take care of you, body, mind, and spirit. Then extend the legs out. Reach your arms back. Take a big belly breath in, release it with a sigh. And slowly bring your arms down by your sides. Feel the support of the earth beneath you. Releasing everything into earth, energetically, emotionally, physically relax. Trusting that you are being held and all is well. And we will guide you out when it's time. There are 2 basic motivating forces, fear and love. When we are afraid, we pull back from life. When we are in love, we open to all that life has to offer with passion, excitement, and acceptance. Evolution and all hopes for a better world rest in the fearlessness and open-hearted vision of people who embrace life. From John Lennon. Take in a deeper breath. And start to bring some movement to your body, starting with your fingers and your toes. Rolling your head from side to side. Extend your arms for a long stretch as you bend your knees and roll over to your favorite side. And use the strength of your arms to lift you back to a comfortable seat, keeping your eyes closed for a few more moments. And bringing your hands together at your heart. I want to thank you for joining us on your mat today, giving yourself some motivation to lift your vibration and inspire others to do the same. Let's join our voices in the sacred sound of Om. From our home to yours, from our hearts to yours, namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks, everyone.
We hope you enjoyed this Rebel and Muse CaliRoots edition. And Mel, I can't wait to do this live and direct the next time we get to all be together at CaliRoots.
Yeah. Peace.
Thank you so much.